early on what guys are going to step up and decide they're going to be the guy, the next big name at Iowa State. So I wish I could make some predictions. I felt like the last 5 or 6 years had some pretty good squads at Virginia Tech. So I felt really comfortable in the fact of, we think we're ready to be a trophy team, we're ready to be a top 10 team. That was the progress. But this year, it's definitely up in the air, and that's scary, but it's also exciting. So that's my statement.
What specifically are you looking for from guys both this weekend and when you kind of hinted that those 2 weekends are kind of going to be your wrestle-offs? What are you hoping to see both of those weekends?
Yeah, I think some guys are going to step up and be the guy. And there's going to be ways that we're probably going to be contested throughout the year. I've always, as a coach, had the philosophy that, we'll determine who the starter is the day before we leave for Big 12. So it's a fair game until that point, and that gives guys a chance to progress throughout the year. So it's not about the guy that's good in November, it's about the best guy that we can put on the mat in February.
One of those contested weights is 133 with Ian Parker and Marcus Simmons. What do you see out of them so far?
Two really good guys, two really good guys that have have a lot of potential. So seeing how those guys perform, Parker's cutting some weight, but the most disciplined, hard-nosed guy we probably have on our roster right now. Simmons is super talented, but we got to see how he can hold up when the heat's on. And so super talented, but like I said, what's he going to do when the pressure's on and it's a minute to go and you got to dig deep and win. So two different kind of wrestlers, but two very, very capable and talented wrestlers.
How much did Kanan Storr benefit from being able to compete and succeed as an unattached wrestler last season?
I think, obviously we weren't around for a lot of that, but Kanan had a really good redshirt year, especially freestyle-wise. But freestyle and folk style are like apples and oranges sometimes, and so it's a new challenge, and I know Kanan's excited about a new challenge. So does one translate to the other? Maybe a little bit, he's a competitor, but there's different approaches, different styles, different time matches, and so it'll be just like everybody else. Everybody is curious to see what Kanan Storr is going to do, and right away this weekend.
Is it exciting to be a new staff and have a young roster? You get a mold almost throughout. Like, you don't have a lot of experienced guys, a lot of old guys, a lot of those guys are graduates. Is it exciting to have a young squad to mold?
Well, we definitely have a young squad, and I like the word mold because we have to gel. And if you were to ask me, is this team completely 100% gelled, I would tell you no. It just doesn't happen overnight, and that's what we continue to strive for. And there's really good signs, and it's like 2 steps forward, and then every now and then it's 1 or 2 steps back, and maybe 3 steps back. And let's hope that this weekend's one step. When we get to this weekend, it's 1 step forward. But one of the very first things I told the team when I got hired was, in mid-March, I said it's going to be bumpy for a while. And that's what I tell the Cyclone Nation, and that's what I tell all of you, and that's what I'm going to continue to tell them is it's going to be bumpy. And when it's bumpy, there's up bumps and there's down bumps. And so we'll see what we get this first weekend.
Does that mean necessarily you got to just be patient in the process, or just because there's going to be up and downs? How do you stay patient?
Well, we've got it's definitely going to take patience. Now, patience and Kevin Dresser in the same sentence probably isn't a good start if you ask anybody that knows me, or Mike Zadek, or Brett Metcalf, or Derek St. John. We want to win right now, but we also are realistic to know what lies in front of us. So this isn't a 100-yard dash. If we're going to build a solid long-term program, and that's what I felt like I've done everywhere that I've been, it's got to be done the right way. You don't win by taking shortcuts and quick fixes. So that means there's going to be bumps.
With all the young guys, who are you maybe looking to step up in terms of the leadership role?
Well, we had that talk yesterday, is that I'm hoping that we can get somebody to step up on this team and maybe be more of a verbal leader. We've got some really good guys that lead by example in the room, but I think it would be a great thing for us right now is we don't have that 1 or 2 guys that just steps up and boom, like I'm going to take over this team and I'm going to make sure we're doing the things right away from lead, and we're doing the things right away from Hilton. When we're in our apartments, when we're home on break, that's the kind of accountability that we need to have, and all great teams have those guys. We're not quite there yet. Might happen soon.
What went into the decision of moving Marcus Harrington up to heavyweight?
He likes to eat, and he's really good at eating, and he likes to lift weights, and he's really good at lifting weights. And if you ask him to take his shirt off, if it's legal to take a picture of his shirt off, you'll see why. He's a heavyweight. So don't want to get in trouble. There's probably some rules and laws against making him take his shirt off. So, but he's a pretty big guy. And, he's weighing 237, 238. To me, that's a heavyweight.
Yeah, what are you expecting from him this season?
Tremendous ability. I really like what we've seen out of Marcus in the last month. For Marcus, it's about just going out and buying into scoring and beating guys up for 7 whole minutes. Not just going and getting the first takedown, maybe trying to get another takedown. When he really buys into it, and we see it sometimes. I even see it sometimes when he's scrapping with Kyvan. And when he goes out to score the whole time, he's really going to be a dynamic guy. And so, I don't know if he's ever been pushed hard to do that. It's not saying anything negative about the old staff, but this staff's going to push you to score a lot of points.
Did Sam Colbert have anything to do with that decision, since he's one of the more highly touted guys on this team?
Nope. Sam likes to eat too, so he's shrinking. One guy's getting bigger, one guy's shrinking. So, I think it's just a good fit for our team. Those two.
You mentioned a store, freestyle folk style can sometimes be apple and oranges, but there's a lot of similarities between the two styles. Where I guess, do you think he needs to make the most improvement, or what does he maybe need to focus on now that he's doing folk style?
That's hard for me. I really can't even answer that because he's a little bit of a mystery to me. Because if I watched him in the room, I wouldn't predict the results he has out when he competes. Like when I saw him compete in Vegas, I saw him compete in Lincoln and places like that. He's competitive, and so sometimes you have those guys that just don't maybe light you up in the room, and then you put a singlet on him and turn on the lights. So he seems to be a different guy when that in a good way. I wish he was more. I wish we could get a little bit more out of that in the room, because then I think when you step out there and the lights are on, you got a really good guy. You got a stud. So.
Looking at the probable lineups, you got a lot of competition at a lot of weights. How good is that for your team, or how do you look at that?
Well, that's great for our team, and that's that's the way we're always going to be. Is that we're bringing in good guys. And sometimes that scares away kids that are seniors in high school, and I don't like it because where I come from, I never ever once looked at back in the '80s who Dan Gable was recruiting. I looked at everybody that came in as a training partner and somebody was going to make me better. I like the fact that back in Iowa we recruited all blue chip guys, and if you were going to make the spot, you were going to be the best guy. You had to earn it, and that's what's going to happen at Iowa State. So, we've got, fortunately in this society, sometimes kids kind of want to come in and be the guy and have a guarantee, and there's no guarantees in life, and there's no guarantees on a great wrestling program. So it frustrates me that some kids get a little bit, their feelings hurt if you start recruiting somebody else that's maybe a blue chip guy, and we've had some blue chip guys just verbal to us recently. And I think it scared some guys off, and those guys aren't going to work out. We want guys that want to compete, and the old iron sharpens iron is the way things are going to happen in Ames.
Talking about iron sharpens iron, you got Austin Gomez at 133 to go along with the partner Marcus Simmons. I'm assuming he's going to redshirt, and if so, how much do you think he can develop with those two guys in front of him?
Yeah, that's iron sharpens iron right there. We've got 3 really good guys at 2 weights, and or maybe 3 really good guys at 1 weight. I don't know. I mean, they're obviously going to probably grow apart eventually. Yeah, he needs to have a good year. Unfortunately, he's a little dinged up right now. We're not going to see him at the Cyclone Open. He's, Marcus Coleman and Austin Gomez are really super tough, true freshmen. But he got dinged in the head a little bit last week, and just for precautionary sake, we need to sit him this weekend. And so we won't get to see him. I know a lot of the Cyclones want to see him, but in time you're going to see, that Gomez is pretty special.
We're going to see Coleman this weekend? Sorry.
Yes, he's going to Coleman's ready to go as long as we get through the next 2 days.
All right.
Hopefully we can see Gomez at Lindenwood. Yeah, we got, anytime you get dinged in the head, he's got a mild concussion, you're at the mercy of all the tests, just like it was in football or basketball or any other sport.
Is Coleman a guy that can wrestle this year?
He could probably wrestle this year, but you know what? We got to do the best thing for the kid. We've got some guys there that can wrestle, and so there might be a time at Iowa State where we need to throw in a true freshman and just to contend for a trophy or team title. We're not ready to do that. So to me, a 19-year-old Marcus Coleman at the NCAA tournament or a 20-year-old Marcus Coleman at the NCAA tournament, if both of them are freshmen, common sense tells you that you wrestle a 20-year-old freshman. And so that's part of the patient word. Maybe he's the best guy at the weight, but not at the risk of proper development.
Other than injuries, do we expect to see the whole team this weekend at the Nichols?
Yes, yes. And we are banged up right now. That's the asterisk you can all write, is that we're banged up right now. We've been scrapping, and so we've got some casualties. Nothing major. We got Breitbach's got a fractured rib, so he's probably a week or two away. Deegan's got a small rib issue, and he's probably 3 weeks away. Nothing major though. We don't have any major injuries, but we got some dings right now that we're gonna have to sit a couple guys.
So it's gonna be Dante Rodriguez for the first few weeks then at 149.
Yeah, we got some other guys there too. I'm not even I'm not even gonna name a roster until we get done with Lindenwood. So then you can start asking me about who the guy is. You guys are all pretty smart. You'll figure out as the cream rises to the top.
What can Deegan do for you this year coming over from Virginia Tech?
Deegan's got the right mindset. The mindset. He's a competitor. Wrestling's important to him. He's the kind of guy that'll do the right things away from the room, and so he'll be a good example. He's got a really funky, kind of unique style. So he's going to be fun to watch. He's going to be a nightmare to watch for us too, because he rolls around a lot. But he's also very dangerous. He's a pinner, and I think he's going to have some good years at Iowa State.
Speaking of funk, what are you seeing from Colston and Blasky so far?
Too much funk, right? We've got to get some more basics there. I see him working on it. I see it being important to him. But you can't live on funk alone. You have to have the basics, and so you throw basics in with funk, and you got a heck of a wrestler. Because I like funk, but you just can't be all funk.
Jacob Allison, kind of a unique story from the club team. Did you see him just wrestling somewhere? Where did
Yeah,
he
you know
come
what?
from?
He kind of popped up on our radar late last spring, early this summer. He kind of reached out to me, and he probably heard through the word or through the grapevine that we were looking for some, depth at 125. And he's been a pleasant surprise for us, just coming in and contributing. And he's a local kid and a state champ down the road. So I like what I see out of him.
What other teams are you expecting to bring their varsity team or not their red shirts and true freshmen to this weekend?
I don't know. I think I heard UNI and Nebraska are coming. I don't know who they're bringing, if they're bringing starters or non-starters. I don't look for it to be a big tournament. I'm kind of glad. We're going to have a freshman, sophomore division and an open division. I don't want to get big weights and our guys have to wrestle 4 and 5 times. My goal is nobody wrestles more than 3 times. So I kind of wanted to make sure we have a freshman, sophomore, and an open. And there's really no hard, fast rules on who can enter what division. So it's going to be hopefully a quickie.
What did you see out of Skylar St. John?
Skylar St. John, I see a guy that keeps his mouth shut, comes in and works hard, and exactly what we need right now. We need that blue chip or that blue collar mentality, and he brings that blue collar mentality, and he's excited to be here. I mean, he gets to be with his brother. How cool is that?
How similar is that to his brother? Because I know from what I've heard, Derek doesn't talk that much either. He just kind of keeps his mouth shut and quietly goes about his business.
They're pretty quiet guys, but you get them alone and get them, get them out with a gun in their hand. They talk quite a bit. So, I don't know. I'm afraid to be around them with a gun in their hand. So. I'm not a hunter, so.
You've been out in the state promoting Iowa State. Tomorrow night will be your first fight night. Have you been prepared?
I haven't heard much about fight night. I just figured somebody will probably take a swing at me because they call it fight night. So I'm ready to go. I got Metcalf with me and St. John and Zadig, so they're gonna have to fight all 4 of us. And no, it should be fun. Obviously, I respect a lot of what's going on in the state of Iowa wrestling right now, and so both schools, Iowa State, UNI, we're all going in the right direction, and that's good for the state. And we got to get this thing going so we can, go to toe with them. Because right now we're the stepchild right now.
All right, thank you, Coach.